Welcome, everyone. Here's another little unit from Applica, whatever they call it. This is the company out of Serbia. And I've been testing and using their products for several years. They make lots of little plates similar to what you'll see here, which is nothing really more than, these are plastic that they have basically, these are circuit boards that are made in a particular fashion to help generate energy by, mostly it has to do with the actual symbol on here. And the fact that they're made on circuit boards and they have some sort of metal there means absolutely nothing. That really doesn't help the process. In a lot of ways, as I discussed, it hurts the process. But these are pretty well made, but the problem is, like all of the stuff that he has, you're paying a pretty high price for what is nothing more than a design. They are not energized. They're not in any way empowered as radionic tech does by having sacred geometry and powerful images that we then amplify through a special sound frequency empowerment that goes into the disc itself, which are on CD type disc, to empower what the symbol is. This creates a very powerful actual product, as well as usually, and what we're doing now is putting in radionic codes of special types in there as well. So those are very powerful things. Getting something like this isn't. Now, the problem here is the same old kind of ridiculous thinking that most people have. Now, this is an electrical device. It runs by 3 AA batteries, as you can see right here. It has an in jack, so you can send energy into this. I'm not sure where that energy is going. And, of course, an on and off switch. And you can turn it. You see that right there? Let me turn that off and turn it back on. A little lighty comes on. Now, this is supposed to be sending energy, of course, I guess, to these different things here. This is probably, there's some sort of chip here. I'm assuming that's a capacitor there, that silver thing there. And, of course, we have these little extra things here. And we got this over here. Of course, it doesn't work very well. This is supposed to light up this bar here. But I found this with a lot of his stuff as well, is it tends to be very defective on top of the fact of being kind of worthless energetically wise. But let's look at that and turn it on the side here. You can see how it kind of jumps up, but we're not getting, it's supposed to strobe down, I'm assuming. Let's leave it on here and we'll see what happens. You can see it's having trouble functioning in general. So I'm going to mess with these batteries a wee bit if that does anything. So this is very typical as well. I'm assuming this is supposed to be a chase light. One lights up and what's the other? And I've had problems with this in the past, and these are new batteries. It just doesn't work. You run into those problems. It's some of the workmanship problems of this kind of stuff as well. But the bottom line is there's basically, here we go, look at that, look at that. Ooh, it's like a Christmas tree. So these lights are supposed to come on, and we can leave that on and see if we get any more. We're missing 2 lights there, but it makes it look pretty, Dr. Thorpe. So the whole idea is why it only works when I pick it up like this, I don't know. So it's all those type of things. Now the problem is the energy is really going nowhere here. So there's no connections to go up or down. So whatever's going on here and whatever being amplified, and of course you're supposed to lay a disc in the top here on top of this. Well, I mean, there's, if you're either electric or not. Now, I'm very much against electric now. I don't think it does anything because none of these energies are electromagnetic in nature. So we run into that particular situation. So apparently it only works on its side like this. You see how it kind of lights up down there. And again, as I said, you've got this, you can plug things in here, whatever that's going to do to send energy in here. It goes into here. But again, goes into where? I mean, you put disc in stuff and, there's really no witness plates, no rubbing plates. So where does the energy go? What are you doing with it? So, the whole premise of it's a little ridiculous. And this guy, while his particular printouts like this are done pretty well, he has no idea about alternative energies, has no concept of it whatsoever, knows zero about radionics. He puts out things he calls radionic machines, which are just a bunch of really comic book junk. I mean, they all look good, but they just don't do anything. And this is another example of a multi-layered do-nothing junk. So he has, as I said, he has little, I think they're orgone discs. I'll show you how dumb he is there, that go on the top here. And this is, of course, on top of another circuit, but there's no energy going to that circuit. So these are all part and parcel of the problems that we get involved in when we get into this stuff that really does most nothing. And as I said, these lights here and how they work and where the feed's coming from, I have no idea. But why it tends to work when you put it on its side here, and then, of course, it goes off. We just don't know what's going on there. We're going to see if I can use my little tool here. I'm going to try and take this apart a little, see if we can see what that's all about. It has these kind of pegs in it. I don't want to spend too much time in this. This has a special little screw opening here, so you just can't easily do it. You need a special tool. Well, I can't find a tool actually for that, so we'll do it in a more primitive way. We'll just go in and kind of break this off here. See what we can do here. There's my knife again. Well, this is screwed together fairly well. I mean, there's not much to see here or to get at. I was going to try and take this plate here off and keep it, but I have a lot of plates like that. I'm not going to really bother with this. I don't really have a lot of time because I'm not going to use this stuff. It doesn't really do anything. Well, let's give it the old energy test here. I don't think I tested this, did I? Let's give it the old energy test with the pendulums here. Is this unit positive, negative, or neutral? Again, another one of those neutral things, which doesn't speak much for anything. If it's neutral, it means it's not putting out any kind of good energy generally. Now, whether you pump energy into this, I put the batteries back in, and of course, let's turn it on again. Now that it's on, is it positive, negative, or neutral? So here we go again, another neutral thing. There's not much energy happening here. So it's, I don't know why you'd want to possibly use something that is neutral unless it's a tunable device. Now this does have things you're supposed to put into it. Now you're supposed to put round orgone type discs in here, and all that goes with that. So being neutral may be something that is appropriate for this kind of thing that you add energy in. The main thing, of course, is it's not spinning negative, which means there isn't intrinsically bad energy in it. So that's all good. in the bigger picture. Other than that, this is just a battery pack here, as you can see. The actual, it has a little processing chip here. Let me see here. Doesn't look like there's anything in it and on it. And of course, you've got your little in jack. You've got your on and off switch. You've got what appears to be a little capacitor. So, I mean, it's an interesting little unit here. But again, I wouldn't, these, all his stuff is way overpriced. It costs you a lot of money to have it sent to you from Serbia. It's certainly not something that I would recommend. I don't use any of his products anymore. There's just better ways of doing it. And the cost factors and the lack of customer service is appalling. So the whole idea is that we can go from there. So another look at this, and you can find these if you look up radionics in most auction places and in most auction areas. You'll find these are this company, and everything that it sells is everywhere. And they're fun little plates, but there's better ways to do it. Watch for Radionic Tech's new plates coming out. We're going to cover all those areas. Having a little circuit cut out like this doesn't add much to it. The real energy is coming from the actual geometry here, the sacred geometry that you're getting in these things. That's where the real energy comes from. Thanks for watching.